School here again today, and this is, I don't know what episode, I think it's the 7th episode of Warhammer Thoughty. I need to stop saying this is the whatever episode of it, maybe make an issue of it when it's the 100th episode or my 52nd episode maybe, because it means I've been doing it a year, something like that. Anyway, this week's episode is being recorded on a Thursday. Now that's the earliest I've ever recorded Warhammer Thoughty video, which goes out on Sunday, and it's because I'm suffering from a bit of hobby burnout, and that's the subject of this week's Warhammer Thoughty. So it's hobby burnout and how to deal with it. In truth, I don't believe there's any one way of dealing with it. Everybody's different. That's the problem. Some people say power through it, just keep painting, keep painting. If I did that, I would end up probably getting all my miniatures together, just chucking them in the bin or taking them down to the charity shop or putting them all on eBay or something like that, because I'd just get so fed up with it if I did that. I truly believe that. I've never tried it because I wouldn't want that to happen. Other people, on the other hand, say if you've been painting a lot, maybe build something for a bit. If you've got excess miniatures, then that's a really good way, or potentially a good way, of some people dealing with hobby burnout. So instead of painting something, build something. If you've been building something a lot, paint something. Or, of course, play a few games. If you're tired of building, painting, all the sort of hobby side of it, play a few games. It doesn't have to be competitive. It can just be a fun little kill team game, something like that. And like I said, everybody's got their own way of dealing with it. What I tend to do, because I wouldn't want to say, no, I like to keep up with the fluff of what's going on in the Warhammer 40k universe. So I read a lot of stuff when I'm not painting and building. If I take time out of it, I tend to read stuff. I've read the first 2 Gathering Storm books now. I finished the second one today. Yeah, I finished the second one today, and then I opened White Dwarf again. I bought White Dwarf at the end of February, and because I've been reading the Gathering Storm book, it's not that big, but I don't read very fast. I don't paint very fast. Maybe I'm in the wrong hobby. Yeah, so it's not that big, but the fluff in it is about 90 pages, probably more like 70 pages with all the artwork that you get in there as well. But yeah, I don't read that fast, so that's it took me that long. Yeah, so from when I got White Dwarf, about 3 weeks later, I'm finally starting to read White Dwarf now, and the new one's out in a week or two, 2 weeks I think. So yeah, there we go. What I tend to do is I do other aspects of the hobby, and the other aspects of the hobby that I'm doing at the minute is basically reading. I watch YouTube videos all the time as well, which it's always good if you've lost inspiration for painting something. I think watching other people get stuff painted and get stuff painted to a really high standard, even if it's a standard you think you'll never achieve, getting those miniatures painted to a really high standard, it can be a good motivator, I find anyway, personally. Can be a good motivator to make me want to paint something to 75% of that standard, maybe. Probably not 75%. Probably more like 50% of that standard. But anyway, yeah, like I said, everyone's going to have to deal with hobby burnout differently. There's no... Excuse me. That wasn't even a burp, that was just an intake of air. There's no real singular way of dealing with it. You just have to deal with it in your own way. You find your way of dealing with it, and so we're going to list the ways now for you, for the simple reason that I've just been rambling. So one way of dealing with hobby burnout is change what you're doing in the hobby. So if you've been painting, build. If you've been building, paint. If you've been doing both of them things, game. If you've been gaming too much, go back to building and painting. That sort of thing. Another way is to distract yourself with other things, like, again, other aspects of the hobby, like YouTube and stuff like that, watching other people's stuff, but then that leads into getting inspiration from other people. Take a trip down to your local GW if you have one, or your local gaming store if you've got models on display. Take a look at those. I'm quite lucky where I live in Manchester. and there's some awesome stuff in the display cabinets in the Manchester GW store and in the Stockport GW store as well, which is nearby. And if I wanted to visit a new store, there's one probably no further than about 6 miles away. So there's 3 stores within like a 6-mile radius of me, probably 4 actually thinking about it. So I'm quite lucky in that respect. So we've got change what you're doing in the hobby, get inspiration from other sources like YouTube or gaming stores and stuff like that. Go and see a few people playing games, look at them, and just get inspiration from that. And you can like read fluff and stuff if you're into that side of the hobby. Another way I've dealt with it, hey, let's get that back up there. Another way I've dealt with it in the past, so this is a third way, is just take a break from it. Sometimes you do just need a break from it. I think part of the reason, this is going to sound ridiculous now, but part of the reason I'm not in the mood to do any hobby at the minute is because I've kind of accidentally taken a break. And the break has led to me falling behind on my YouTube, not playlist, timeline, my YouTube timeline, or whatever you call it. So I'm catching up on YouTube videos. I'm spending a lot of time doing that. I know I can do that and paint at the same time, but for some reason I've taken like a week or 2 break from painting now because I've been busy doing other things, and so that's kind of put me not in the mood to do hobby. I know I'll be in the mood at some point soon to do the hobby. It's not like I'm putting the brushes down forever. So there'll be another painting video update soon for my Castigator 9. But anyway, yeah, just take a break. Take a break. But the fourth reason, the fourth technique of dealing with hobby burnout that I don't think, I've never tried it so I can't say for sure, doesn't work for me, is powering through. I think I've tried powering through a little bit, and what tends to happen with me is if I'm painting, say, a face or something quite detailed, and I try and power through it, it just tends to go wrong. I make more mistakes because I'm not in the mood to do it. It doesn't have to be something that detailed as well. It could be I'm painting the side of a tank, and then all of a sudden I'm trying to do an edge highlight, and then all of a sudden I just drag it across a flat piece of armour on the tank, and that's where things go wrong for me. So that's why I don't think powering through would be a good technique for me. But it might be the right technique for you, and that's the important thing. Finding your technique to power through, not to power through, finding your technique to deal with hobby burnout, and remember what you did last time to deal with hobby burnout. Some people, let's categorise them for, and then this different type of person. Some people never get hobby burnout. I know Idic Bear claims to never get hobby burnout, and I believe him. The amount of videos he pumps out, it's amazing, one after the other, day after day. I think he puts out 5 or 6 videos a week now, and for a solo operation on YouTube, that is absolutely quality. You've got to admire the man for being able to do that. Admire the man and be jealous of the man as well, because I know if I tried to pump out 5 or 6 videos a week, he might be even 7 now, I don't know. He puts out a lot. If I tried to put out that quantity of video, then I think I'd suffer from hobby burnout a lot more frequently than I do. I tend to suffer from it about every 2 to 3 months, something like that, just maybe sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 2 weeks, but then I always go back to it, which is the great thing, I think. A hobby you shouldn't be worrying about hobby burnout. That, for me, would probably cause me to get hobby burnout more frequently if I was worried about it. Sometimes it strikes at bad moments, like when you're in the middle of my Castigator night. It's part of my next New Year painting challenge, and I want to get that finished, but I don't think it'll be finished to as high a standard as I am capable of achieving if I tried to force myself to do it. So that's why I put my brushes to one side for the time being. I say put them to one side, I put them in a pile with all the bits that I've been painting and working on. And I'll go back to them when I'm ready to. So don't force me to go back to them. Yeah. So everybody finds their own way of dealing with hobby burnout, and let me know how you deal with hobby burnout, or if you don't get hobby burnout, let me know in the comments. It's different for every person. So yeah, there we go. A bit of a a shorter one this week, not as short as I intended there. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you on the battlefield.